All right, I can't resist. I know. We still have to shuffle, but I was just like, look at that. Good fortune. All right. So super duper. Let's see what happens with this shuffle. But let's see what's going on this week. This is a reading for whoever needs to hear this message. This week I will be doing the October readings. If you're interested in any of the weekly readings, rot here. Going to be talking. I have some news to deliver to you this week about. Some of you have been asking me. Actually, a lot of you have been asking me over the past 2 years about coaching, and we're going to be start to do a coaching practice. If you want to shine your light and get it out there, I'm going to help you do it. Okay, so put a pin in that. If you're new to this channel, welcome in. I hope you're doing great. Don't forget to hit the like button if you like my content. And if you want to subscribe so you get notified, be sure to do that and hit that little bell. Okay, what is going on this week? All right, what is happening this week? I'm getting this like, somebody needs to stand up for themselves. And look at this, release. All right, release. Water. Speak your feelings, my friends. Shadow. So some of you have really held back. And I don't think that's good for you. Okay? I just don't think so. I think some of you really need to stand your ground. You need to speak your truth. You need to say something about where you want to go. This feels a little bit like, I feel like some of you are discovering your shadow. And so it might be that you have to speak your truth. It might be, what is that truth? It can be anything, right? It could be anything. But there's something that you're ignoring about yourself. Maybe you're too nice. Okay. Maybe you're not really standing up and saying, this is what I need. This is what is important to me. And it's almost like the feelings, like it's like a gusher. It's like a, this sort of dam is breaking, and you're not going to be able to hold this back. I feel like some of you have held it back for years, decades even. All right. So that can be going on for some of you. Others of you, I just feel like you have a lot of pent up feelings about a certain situation that you haven't really addressed yet. Okay, so this could be old grief. This can be past life connection that you're getting triggers around. You're like, where's this coming from? What's going on? So you might have to do a little bit of deep dive in your own awareness, in your own kind of feelings about things. Why am I feeling a certain way? Why has this shown up? You can even look, I'm going to say in the past year, because that orange makes me feel like Halloween. So all the way back to last Scorpio season, you can look and see how your feelings, how you have been treating yourself. Have you been treating yourself like, I trust my intuition and I'm taking action on it? Or have I been treating myself, there's intuition right there. Or have I been saying, no, I'm going to cover it up. I'm not going to speak out. I'm not going to share my feelings here. Some of you are stepping into a relationship and you're very, very tentative about sharing those feelings. It's possible that there's abandonment issues. So we'll go deeper into this as we get through the reading. So Page of Cups underneath, Nine of Cups, Nine of Pentacles. Wow. Devil energy. Look at this. Lovers, Eight of Wands. Okay. Tower. Are you freaking kidding me? There it is. Seven of Swords. There it is. Okay. So I feel like some of you have been doing a good job of moving forward with your life. And this Nine of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, Page of Cups, there's like new opportunities coming in. But this is like the inverse. So Gemini is a two-sided coin, two-sided personality. You don't really hear that much about Capricorn being that way, but they're the same card, light and dark, right? This is the duality we're talking about right now. And I just almost feel like some of you have gotten to a place where you're very strong, even strong-willed. And then the inverse of you is like, I don't want to ruffle anybody's feathers. I don't want to say anything that's going to get me in trouble. And I just feel like, okay, Mercury retrograde's over, so I can, speak my truth now, whatever it is, or I've gotten through it. I don't have to be worried that I'm going to say something and it's going to blow up. Um, no, you don't. No, you don't. Eight of Wands, Tower, Seven of Swords. If you have held back on some kind of truth, I feel like it comes out in a big way. And, it's one of those things where maybe it comes from mother energy. So your mother could have been very outspoken and you are the opposite. Your mother could have been somebody who was really domineering. And when that shows up in your life, you just roar, right? But there's an outsized reaction here. Okay. I see this very nice energy here of Nine of Cups, Nine of Pentacles. And then there's a challenge. If nothing has challenged you financially, spiritually, emotionally, physically, if you haven't had an obstacle and you all of a sudden have an obstacle. Now, this could have been going on for a long time here. You could have been kind of smooth sailing for a while and then all of a sudden hit the reef, okay? Hit an obstacle. And you got a choice here. And I feel like some of you choose to just let it loose because you've been holding it in for so long. Some of you are just like, I am going to say this and I know it's going to have fallout, but I don't care. I'm going to say it. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to be that way. And I feel like that's good. I feel like some of you may have dealt with an obstacle for a long time in silence. And when you finally sort of burst that bubble or put a pin in that or something like that, it's out there now, right? It's out there. And now there's an opportunity for healing. So I like this a lot. I feel like some of you have had a lot of obstacles, but this might be for somebody who has resolved some obstacles, but not really big ones. This is a really big one. Okay, this is a really big obstacle coming up. Judgment, it's getting released though, trust me, and you've known about it. If this is your reading, you've known about this for a long time. There's tension between you and somebody, long term. Like you finally just tell them how you feel, like that, okay? Judgment, the Sun, Two of Cups. Hermit, ooh, I like that. Page of Wands, Knight of Cups. Wow, the Temperance energy, Three of Swords, and the Moon. I feel like some of you are really coming to terms with an old hurt or some kind of old coping mechanism has created a way, or some old hurt has created a coping mechanism where you bide your time, hold your tongue, don't say it. And this energy allows it. So it excises the wound. It brings out the pain. It brings it all out. So now it's possible that it was a love relationship that turned inward. So some of you, and I know this is true because you've told me, this isn't even something I need to intuit. Some of you have had love relationships when you were feeling really good that attracted in somebody who was an obstacle to love. And it's possible that you just kind of stopped believing in love because of that situation, because of this devil energy. And I just feel like you've been holding that all in. It's possible that this is a really good, positive, I think for most of you, this is a good, positive release, whether it sounds good or it is, I don't know, it shows up as positive in the expression of it. The feeling of it for you is, oh, I needed to do that. I had to say that. I had to get that out. I had to do it. And so the feeling is going to be relief and release. And I also feel like that's a tremendous healing thing. That needed to go. What were you lying about to yourself? You were lying about something to yourself. And I feel like it might, if this is a toxic relationship, that you somehow deserved it. That you somehow deserved it, or that, I don't want to tell anybody about it because it's embarrassing, or it's over now because I've broken up with that person, or I've moved on in my life, so it's over now. There's some kind of old hurt that's resurfacing now, and you get to put voice to that, and you get to stand up for yourself, and you get to heal it. And what happens is a renewed faith in yourself, a renewed faith in humanity, a renewed faith in love, a renewed faith. Page energy, Page of Cups, Page of Wands, Sun, brand new, like a kid again, like I can love again. The Judgment card, the Sun, and the Two of Cups. I feel like that this has been blocking. Some of you have attracted some real nasties. Some of you have attracted some real narcissistic. I know because you've told me, right? Like, some of you have attracted some really tough characters, some really difficult circumstances, some challenging experiences with family, with friends, with colleagues, with bosses, with lovers, with husbands, with wives, whatever it is. And I feel like you finally tell yourself it's not your fault. Good on you. Because I am here to tell you it's not your fault. There is an old wound, an old hurt here that has been shoved down and shoved down and shoved down. And so when this kind of stuff comes along, you're like, I deserve it. And you don't. No, you don't. Like, I'm here to tell you, you don't deserve this. And so that breaks through like a light, like a beam of light in the middle of a thunderstorm. Like that comes through so loud. I mean, that's what this is. Like, ta-da! Okay? And the sun comes out, and now I can express myself. Now I'm balanced again. We're in Libra season. So it makes sense to me on the equinox, right? I'm doing this reading. It is balanced. It's balancing you. This was putting you out of balance. This belief that you were somehow to blame or you somehow deserve it. I feel like you're healing that. And that is a huge shadow aspect of putting yourself in a corner or putting yourself in a situation that was dangerous emotionally, spiritually, physically, mentally, because somehow you deserved it. Okay. So I like this. And I love this. When I said this about the hermit, like looking back on this, looking back on, like you see where that phrase comes, looking back on it, I can see how I put myself in this situation and the expression of why this is not okay anymore, or why I'm not believing that about myself anymore, is wisdom. You've transmuted the energy. That's what that means to heal, is to get something out, to experience it, to feel the feelings. It's like, I can't feel this feelings. It's abandonment. It's so big. It's so awful. I can't feel it because it's so painful. But man, rip the Band-Aid off. Dude, you're in a new place now. I like that. I like that. So the hermit is saying, I'm looking back on this with the wisdom transmuted, because now I'm available for love again. Page of Wands is like getting excited for new offers. This is like in theory. I don't feel like there's a person. I just feel like in theory you are now working through the final fringes, the elements of feelings, which is basically speaking your feelings. They've been there all along, just like locked in a closet. Okay. So why is this Three of Swords here? This is the old pain. Rage against the dying of the light. Rage. Okay. There's this feeling of unfairness. And I feel like this is showing up in Libra time because Libra is about balance and fairness. And it's possible that something happens that's just like so egregious, so off the chain that you're like, I'm just not going to hold it anymore. So this rage shows up. Empress, Ace of Wands, High Priestess, and the Four of Pentacles. Look at how much holding in is going on here. This is also divine feminine energy of allowing. But there's this Ace of Wands. There's like a new bud is growing, a new opportunity, a new idea. Because now I almost feel like it was covering up your ability to feel anything. And now there's intuition flowing, there's feminine energy flowing, because this is like healing. This is almost like a mother wound or something like that I'm not good enough or whatever, is what opened you up to these relationships that were toxic. And so now there's a healed, look at this higher octave, the Empress and the and the High Priestess. And it's really like I've learned to protect myself in a very healthy way. Four of Pentacles, it's not like this devil lovers tower, like it's not this big experience anymore. It's just like, oh no, okay, now I know I can do it. I can be in situations with people or with lovers or whatever, and I'm not having this experience anymore. So the Temperance energy of Archangel Michael bringing this in, bringing you in to see what is kind of deeply shoved in the shadow and now has been brought to light. So love opportunities coming in, friendship opportunities coming in, all kinds of things coming in, especially for singles, okay? Five of Cups, Page of Pentacles, the Three of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles. So some of you have moved away from love entirely, so you might not even be watching this by now, but I'm going to say to you that it does improve your relationship with your work. It improves your relationship with every element of your life. Every piece of your life is improved by this because you've learned more about yourself. You've learned that you can trust your intuition. You've learned that this was not an okay thing to do. You've learned about old wounds that need healing and stuff. Perfect for Libra time. And as we go into Scorpio time is going to be very powerful this year. I'll explain that in the future. And I'll talk a little bit about it in the October readings. Okay, so what is coming in? I feel like your work gets back on track. These are all unintended consequences of this in a good way. Two of Wands, Seven of Pentacles, the World, Five of Pentacles, Nine of Swords, and the Ten of Wands. So what's ending here, what's connected to this may show up in terms of a relationship or in terms of a family member, in terms of whoever makes you explode. It's a good thing, because what was happening is that you were overthinking, I'm not good enough, using that as a platform. And that is really over now. Okay, that's really over now. And what we're doing is we're making new decisions and we're investing energy in different parts of our life that is in terms of something that's growth oriented. This is not growth oriented. This is grinding. This is doing too much. This is too much worry. This is too much, I'm not good enough. And that is over now. Yeah, that is over now. So let's see where we're going to go. I'm going to kind of forecast into October a little bit. If this is your reading, link is below. I think I should, it feels to me a little bit like there's a lot of signs here, so I'll pull cards for each zodiac sign in the extended. All right, my lovelies, speak your truth. It unlocks the future. Good. Link is below if you want to continue on. I'll see you over there. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.